You know how Billy Butcherson, when they like rip the stitches from his mouth and he breathes out and it's just like dust? Yeah, that's exactly what my mouth feels like right now. Parched. Hello. Welcome back. If this is your first time here, my name is Erica Wand. I am going to share with you all today part one of a rather large Halloween haul for 2021. Let me start off by saying this. We have intentions to move within like the next 4 or 5 months, and we have a trip to Salem coming up. I promised myself that I was going to stick to my budget this year because I had really important and exciting fun things to focus on in the future. However, as soon as July hit, my poor bank account felt it. I was running the streets. I was running the roads. I was burning gas up in my gas tank because I knew that I had to get some of these pieces, and I was just so excited to partake in the Halloween decor hunt this year. Couple $100 over my budget later, and we are here, and it is not even the middle of September. I'm gonna share with you kind of what I got during the first part of our Halloween decor hunting season. I have a lot more to share with you. I don't want to try to shove that all into one video because we would be here for a very long time. Not to mention, I still have a couple of other things that are on my wish list. Yes, I know I just said that I went over my budget, but I still have not shopped at Michael's as much as I need to, and I have not shopped at Joann's as much as I need to. So I still have a couple of places that I really want to go this year. I figure today, let's start off with Old Time Pottery. That was a very big hit at the very beginning of Halloween decor hunting season. We're gonna do Cracker Barrel today. We're gonna do a part one of At Home and Bath and Bodyworks. I think that's gonna be where we start. I have a ton of other stuff. So we've got Michael's, Marshall's, Home Goods, Spirit, and Ross, and all the other places in another video that is coming up very soon. Let me go ahead and get the ball rolling. Let's start off with Old Time Pottery. We'll start off with this little guy. So I've mentioned before that we are really into kind of like a vintage, very traditional Halloween vibe in our home. Anytime I take my partner Maddie with me when we go shopping, she is obsessed with like the more vintage and nostalgic pieces. I feel like this is one of those. It is just a little, I'm assuming child, there are hands there, a child dressed as a ghost with a pumpkin on its head. Maybe it's a pumpkin child with what seems to be a cat. But yeah, it's kind of like aged and looks a little vintage, but very cheery and very jolly. We love a cheery, jolly jack-o'-lantern in this house. I want to say this was probably around $9, $8 at Old Time Pottery, but was a very cute find. We enjoy it. Next up on the Old Time Pottery list is one of the pieces that I had to have this year, and that is Misfortune. There are some interesting things happening here. One of her eyeballs seems to be a little deflated. That's okay. We'll take her as she is. Her little crystal ball does light up. You know, it's just a really interesting and unique piece. I didn't feel like a ton of people would have her. But something about her brought me a lot of joy. Third up from the Old Time Pottery collection is my favorite piece, second favorite piece. It's really hard to choose. I really enjoy her though. And as much as I actually got her to be like a vignette in our little cubbyhole section near our TV, which I'll share with you later when we go to do our Halloween decorating video, but I don't think that's where she's gonna end up. I think she's gonna end up in my kitchen where I eventually plan to do a very 1950s witchy kind of vibe. It is the witch with the moon and the pumpkin and the owl sitting on a cloud with her crystal ball, because apparently I have a thing for crystal balls this year, and her little bat. I will get this a little bit closer so you can see some of these details. I love a good hag witch. She's beautifully done though. She's gonna make a really good addition to our little family here. We love her. So our Halloween doormat this year actually also came from Old Time Pottery. At first I was going for the Ouija board doormat from At Home. That was my original intent. That's where I wanted to go. However, I came across this one and knew that I had to have it. And that is the Enter If You Dare doormat from Old Time Pottery. I thought it was just unique. It was different and not something that everybody else was going to have. I still really enjoyed it and thought that it was going to look really good on my front porch. I like the fact that it was gray and not brown. That was something that was a little bit different. It's really well made. My cats already love it. It's got to go outside like immediately after this because they keep trying to claw at it. They're like, ooh, core? Yes, we love that. Just one of those old like death head type of gravestone, tombstone sort of aesthetics, if you will. I think this is going to be great. We're going to keep this out until I can no longer keep it out. That's what I do every year. So that's what we're going to do with this one as well. I do believe this is my last piece from Old Time Pottery. If I missed something from any of these hauls and from any of these areas, I will share them either down in the description below, or I will also add them to an additional video so that you can see everything that I got. The final piece that I got from Old Time Pottery is the Witch's Inn sign. This was already up in the kitchen. I was very excited to start decorating, so I started to pre-decorate a little bit before doing this video. It does light up. It's very cool. This was, I think, $14.99, and it's wood. It says the Witch's Inn. It has the marquee lighting. It is hangable. However, I'm reading on the back of this thing and it says California 93120 compliant for formaldehyde. Should I be scared? So let's move on to Cracker Barrel. I never found the Cracker Barrel ghost. It's the craziest thing. It's like it appeared for like a week and then just disappeared off the face of the planet. So I only ended up with one thing from Cracker Barrel, and that is this haunted house. I thought it was very cool. I had heard about this haunted house being at Big Lots last year, but I found out that it did not have the projector on the back, and the projector is what made it for me. I purchased this because of the projector. So when you turn it on, it might be a little loud, so bear with me for a minute. As you can see, the projector is really cool. It's a lot of fun. It's gonna start going again. If there is one thing that I absolutely adore about Halloween, it is interactive, fun, and exciting pieces of Halloween decor. So anything that projects things, anything that makes noise, that changes, that's an animatronic, like all of that stuff. I think that that's the kind of thing that makes Halloween Halloween. It's exciting, it's kind of spooky. I went in looking for the Cracker Barrel ghost. I came out with the haunted house, and I have to say I love this haunted house very, very much. Let's move on to At Home. I will preface by saying that everything you see here is not my entire At Home haul. We are gonna have to do a part 2 that consists of the other pieces from At Home because there's so many. As you well know, I'm sure, and if you don't, At Home is probably one of the first places that starts to put out Halloween decor at the very beginning of June, July. That is about the time that they start. I started at the very beginning, started seeing stuff come out that was trickling through, and they actually were trickling through stuff all throughout July and August. So I saw something new almost every single time I went into the store. We'll start off with one of the biggest things that we got from At Home, and that is the giant pumpkin. This bad boy plugs in, which is very cool. It's obviously huge. I mean, my head in comparison to this thing is only maybe half the size of this pumpkin. So it's very large and in charge. Large Marge. I think that's what her name is going to be now. It's Large Marge. It's like trying to fit me and my ego into the frame. I'm just kidding. My ego's not that big. Yeah, but Large Marge here is just a friendly jack-o'-lantern and is going to make her debut in our living room this year. Next up is one of my favorite pieces that we got from At Home, and that is this gorgeous little vintage ghost. It is really unique. I've never quite seen anything like this before out there. I love the little wisp at the top of the ghost's head. I like that it has like a little nose, and it's a little spooky, but also very sweet. There's a really interesting texture. This was actually a part of the Halloween Hoedown collection. I'm still having a lot of feelings about that name, but it is what it is. I don't have very many ghosts. I'm really stunned by that. So that might have to be something that I start making a little bit more of a collection of. I have a lot of pumpkins, but not enough ghosts, I don't feel like. All right, let's get into a little bit of glassware, also because I'm thirsty. This, if you can see it, is the skull jar glass from At Home. It's holding my juice for me right now because I like juice. It's the clear glass one. I actually gave another clear glass one away in my 1K giveaway on Instagram. But I love that glass. I use it an awful lot. It actually fits in my cup holder in my car, so I'm constantly carrying it around with me. I take it to work with me. They all think I'm a little weird. I have more glassware for you, or more drinkware. Let's call it drinkware because we have a few things. So next up on our drinkware list is this Poison to-go wine cup. Now, if I bring it up closer, you can see it just a little bit better, but it just says Poison on it. It has a sipper. This one does not fit in my cup holder in my car. I found that out after spilling coffee everywhere in my vehicle because it slid right out. But I still really love this cup. This is my, what I call after hours cup. So when I am cooking dinner or I want to make like a cocktail or something like that at home, I am usually going to grab this. Staying on the drinkware train, I am going to share with you all my mug stack. I had a really hard time choosing which mug stack I was going to snag, whether it was going to be this one, the skeleton mug stack, or the monster mug stack. But the witchy mug stack kind of stood out to me, especially since I wanted to do more of a witch vibe in my kitchen this year. But this is very sweet. All it says is Eye of Newt. The other one says witch's brew, spider venom, and hemlock root. I even love the kind of like discrepancies and the little like issues and mistakes that came across in some of the writing. I think that makes it kind of look unique. They almost look handmade. I really like them a lot. And who knows, maybe they are handmade and I'm just missing out. And they're gonna be adorable on my little coffee bar. Speaking of foodwares and drinkwares and things of that nature, I did purchase one of the long Oblong pumpkin canisters that they have. So it does come with like a little rubber lid. Currently ours is holding a lot of dehydrated goods that we kind of use to either cook with or that I put in my coffee, like my dehydrated pumpkin. I love that speckle that is on that, if you can see it. It's really cool. So speaking of drinkware and dishware and wares of sorts in which you can partake in food and or beverage, I of course had to get the giant punch bowl. This is such a cool piece. I was not expecting anything like this. This is a part of the Dark Decadence collection from At Home. I didn't see them for very long, so they may or may not be out there now at your At Home, but it never hurts to check. It is ceramic. They just did a really beautiful job. If you look really closely, you can see the darker markings kind of in the ceramic. This is one of my favorites for the year for sure. Boy, did we get a lot from At Home. Come here, my pretty face. Come here. Come here, there. So at Home, they had the tiniest bit of floral, and honestly, it was just these. Halloween floral is not easy to come by, so even when I find small quantities of it, I want to make sure that I actually get to utilize it. I wish you could see this cat right now who is determined. Don't. You stay right where you are. This is not for you. Go away, Petunia. Go on, shoo. Shoo fly, don't bother me. The cats like this floral apparently. I thought these were kind of unique and really pretty. They would kind of go in a vase, like a deep vase or something that I might have, or I might be able to utilize them on a wreath of some sort. So another piece from at home is this ceramic tree. So I don't usually love mixing my holidays together, but you can't beat these little vintage trees. They are so cute. So at home had a candy corn version, and then they had the black version with the little purple and yellow lights, but just one of those really traditional like 1950s little reproductions. We couldn't pass this one up. It was very pretty. One of the things that I knew that we needed to get this year was wall decor. So I went ahead and snagged this little Ouija board sign. Just simple. It was $10. I love the actual like cutout design of this board though. And I love that the planchette matches my own planchette quite well. So this was an easy pickup. I saw it and kind of knew that it needed to go on our wall. So the final piece that I'm going to share with you all today from at home is this mercury glass skull. I typically don't go for stuff like this for Halloween. It is, however, kind of in my realm of regular decor. Plus it lights up. It's just a set of string lights inside, but it does look really neat with this ombre mercury glass gray to black situation that is happening here. They did do a pumpkin version of this as well, and they did, I think, a different colored version of this too. I am really excited to utilize this in our everyday decor as well as our Halloween decor. We'll find a way to integrate them, that's for sure. I said that the mercury glass skull was the last piece from at home, but I lied. There's been a piece that has been sitting in the background for a little while now that was also from at home this year that I will go ahead and share, and that is this pumpkin. This is the bug pumpkin from at home. So if you look really closely, there are bugs on this pumpkin. This was one of those pieces that we were just like, I think we have to purchase that. It's just, we have to purchase that. It's just a really cool piece. But I love the shape of this pumpkin. The pumpkin shape is really neat. I just thought it was beautiful. I think it is one of those really spectacularly interesting pieces, and we couldn't pass it up. So the bug pumpkin. So the last store of the day, Bath and Body Works. Yet another early contender of the year. Bath and Body Works definitely brought us a lot of very interesting and very fun decor pieces, as well as really neat candles. I'm going to start off with some candles, and then we'll move into the decor pieces as we move along. Let us talk about the Ghoul Friend and Vampire Blood candles. I enjoyed these smells a lot last year. They aren't your typical pumpkin, spicy, fall scented candles, but they do remind me of candy. If I had to choose between the two, which one my favorite was, it's gonna be Vampire Blood over Ghoul Friend. I did really like the cameos that they did with these. There is like a really interestingly raised damask with bats style kind of pattern on here as well, which I thought was really pretty. I'm not sure where I'm going to display them, but they'll still be a lot of fun to just have on our coffee table so that I can burn them together, especially right now before Halloween. Very excited for these. So also in the single wick, I got the pumpkin carving. I thought the holograph was a lot of fun. They did a really good job with a lot of the styling of their labels this year. The holographic stuff is fun. I love the pumpkins. It is very spicy and very pumpkin-y. I love the smell of this one, and it definitely is going to be saved for Halloween or for the October times. This is probably one of my favorite smelling candles I've gotten so far this year. I am still going to probably get more candles from Bath & Body Works this year because I do get a little obsessed with them around this time. It just smells cozy, so this one will probably get saved for the beginning of October before I go and purchase a whole bunch of other candles. All right, so they came out with 3 different scents this year: Haunted Nights, Wicked Apple, and Pumpkin Carving. Out of all of them, I think the pumpkin carving is the best of the 3. I actually tried to purchase a 3-wick pumpkin carving candle through Bath & Body Works website, but I did not receive that. Instead, I received the Haunted Nights candle. I decided to keep it because I actually really like the damask on here as well. They have all of these skeletons with all of these really beautiful little floral pieces and what look to be some leaves as well. The scent is interesting. Some people love it, some people hate it. This is supposed to be Scary Clary Sage, Moonlit Mahogany, Vanishing Verbena with natural essential oils. but it does smell fresh and it smells kind of haunting. I like to save my traditional pumpkin spicy scents for October and Halloween time, so this is a really good one for me to burn now. Also, the lids that they did on these candles were really cool with the spider webs. So let's continue to add to this Bath & Body Works collection that we have already procured. I went ahead and snagged the Wicked Apple as well, but I really enjoy this style that they've done this year, this damask style. So we've seen the skeletons, we've seen some bats, we've also seen ghosts now. I do like the Wicked Apple a lot. It is ghostly green apple, creepy caramel drizzle, and vicious vanilla bean. I love this scent. This is a really nice scent. And just like the candle, we also got ourselves a vampire blood soap. This one is kind of more of that bat detail that you saw on the candle. Very on brand. The scent notes of this soap are red berries, night blooming jasmine, and petrifying plum. Definitely had to snag the soap. I cannot walk away from a perfect pumpkin. This is definitely one of my favorites. I also really like this Art Deco style that they did on the soap dispenser. So this one is also matte black in comparison to some of the others. This is just real fancy. The perfect pumpkin is carved pumpkin, spooky cinnamon, and moonlit vanilla. It is probably one of my favorite scents of the year and is getting saved specifically for October and the Halloween times. They just did a really great job on this soap. I really like it. And last but not least, I actually got these two to kind of go with each other, but they are not the same ones that I thought they were. So there is Sugared Spell, which is spooky sugared lemons, candy gumdrops, and sweet musk. This is my kitchen soap. I love this soap. This is a great hand soap. And then the Happy Halloween, which is definitely more of a marshmallow fluff, candy corn, and sweet orange. Very similar kind of in their scent profiles, but I actually got them to match. However, they don't match. There is a different one that has a darker, very similar style to the Sugared Spell, and I cannot remember what it's called, but there is a direct match to this one. Whereas with the Happy Halloween, it is more of a holographic spiderweb design. Both of them have these shiny black tops, but I'm okay with that. These will both go into the kitchen. We're starting with this one and we will end with the Happy Halloween. So love these. That is the candles and the soaps. So I got one of the Haunted House plugins. This is actually the Haunted House plugin from last year. And I didn't love the one from this year, that botanical, weirdly ghoulish garden theme that is kind of taken off from Target. It's not really my thing. So I went ahead and went with this more traditional looking cauldron with the pumpkin man on one side and Frank on the other. This is the one that has the witch on a broomstick projector instead of the bats, which is what I think the other one is. And this one doesn't say Happy Halloween either. It's just the witch on a broom. One of my other favorite pieces, let's see if she's working. She is the snow globe from this year for Bath & Body Works. This one, if you look very closely, is a haunted tree with a bunch of tombstones and some skulls and some flying ghosts. It's a little on the pricey side. I want to say it was $79.99, but we are big snow globe fans in this house, and I was definitely looking for this piece as one of my big pieces for the year. Next up is the Golden Drop pedestal, tilted pedestal from Bath & Body Works. I absolutely adore this piece. So if you ever saw my Instagram stories, you will see that this piece came in broken. I was able to get it replaced in store. However, on my way home from the store, it fell out of the seat because I put it in the seat for no reason and I broke it. Luckily, I only broke off a couple of pieces on the back, which I'm going to place back on here with a little bit of super glue. No problems, no harm, no foul. We're just gonna pretend like it didn't happen. I do love this piece. I can see how easily breakable it is. These little drips are pretty fragile, but I do love this piece nonetheless. I think this is really dramatic and is going to be an all year round piece for us for sure. Last but not least, the piece de resistance for me. The one piece that I was very excited to find from Bath & Body Works, and possibly one of my favorite pieces for the entire year, is the Lady Bust. She is my favorite. We love her very, very much. She is broken, but I'm not gonna tell you where. We're just gonna hope that you don't see it and you never see it. She is beautiful though. We love the velvet. We love the gold detailing. We love the death head moth. And I love this very delicate lacy piece that is up at the top of her head. And of course, like I said, you can just stick a candle right in the top there. There we go. And she's just as fancy as can be. Okay, so I think that is it for today. I shared with y'all a lot of things. I still have a lot more to share with you. Plus, I still have a little bit of shopping to do. So be on the lookout for some more Halloween decor hunting videos, a couple more hauls, and I hope that you enjoyed everything that I shared with you today. Well, I guess it's outro time. If you had a good time hanging out with me today, make sure that you subscribe. Leave a comment down below letting me know what some of your favorite pieces were from the very beginning of your Halloween decor hunting adventures. There will be a new upload, hopefully every week, with equally as enticing content as you saw here today. And as always, thank you for doing spooky stuff with me. I'll see you next time. Bye.